It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
What is going on, Lake of the Ozarks? It's show number 52. We've officially hit our year anniversary. Can you believe it, Chris?
Hard to believe. Boy, it's gone pretty fast, hasn't it?
Has indeed. Wow. For the last year, you've welcomed us each week into your homes, your cars, your workplace, and we certainly appreciate it for our cup of coffee. Of course, I'm Will. This is Chris, and for our anniversary show, we got a lot to talk about this week right here from Slumberland at the lake. Of course, most of you know, I think everyone around the lake knew going into the Bills-Chiefs game over the weekend how important that was to me, to my family. I was very vocal about that, and so I'll offer my initial thoughts to the heartbreaking game for some of us, or the thrilling win for a lot of you. We'll talk about a year anniversary on the show, some of our favorite things, and why this show is so important to the lake. Aldi and Hobby Lobby update, we've got that for you. You probably saw that on Lake Expo. We'll also look at Missouri deer hunter numbers through December into January, and looks like this year that we're definitely going to be up over a year ago.
Yeah, looks like it's been a great year for the hunters. That's been a bumper crop this year.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're killing any or harvesting any, because I'm still seeing them everywhere around the lake. That, and you guys know that the Bagnell Dam Boulevard Bridge over the dam has been closed for quite some time and could be getting some much needed funding and finishing of that project in the near future. So that could be open, that and a whole lot more. But before we dig into all of that, the only reason this show is even possible is from the generous support of our friends right here at Slumberland at the Lake. And let me tell you, do they have some deals for you.
Hey everyone, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. This week is our last week for our winter blowout sale. Get 20% off all Slumberland low price items, and also get up to 36 months interest-free financing. That's right, discounts and interest-free financing all together. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture at the Lake, where we're bringing happy home.
That's right, Slumberland at the Lake. They'll get you taken care of right here. Plenty of pieces on the showroom you can leave with today, which is rare right now in furniture. Shortage on so many things.
Oh man, and we love shopping here, both of us. I mean, a lot of stuff in your house is from Slumberland, great stuff in our house from Slumberland, so it's fantastic.
I'm afraid because our partnership is so close that if we get short on furniture again, Jill and Daryl and Anna, they're all going to start sending all the people like, go to Uncle Chris and Will's and see what you like. They got a lot of
that's our
selections.
second showroom over there. Just go see them.
They are absolutely greatness. So, all right, we're going to attempt to dig into this. Most of the time you have a weekend game. You know, our show airs on Wednesday. You might be seeing this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You would think, okay, so the Chiefs recap's probably pretty outdated. I'm not sure this game will be outdated or old news for some time. It has taken me a few days to get to the point where I'm able and ready to talk about this. But
it was very painful for you. I mean, because you put your heart and your soul into it, and especially that game, you just got your heart ripped out, right?
Oh, and in the fashion in which it happened will be hard to swallow. So before we get into the actual game, now we ran a couple of contests. Lake TV ran a contest for who got the score the closest, the winner, and then of course who had the most receiving yards. The winner of that was going to get a one-night stay at the Lodge at Port Arrowhead, the official lodging partner of Lake TV, and Mark Switzer wins that. So congratulations to Mark. And then on my personal Facebook page, did a pretty neat promotion with Mom and Dad through Chances Are, where the winner gets 2 large ribeyes or filet mignons.
I thought I was going to win that.
You were close.
I was.
You should have won. You took the Bills by a field goal. I'd have been just fine had you. You also get combo appetizer and then 2 premium drink tickets per person, so it's over $120 value, and Bill Bartlesmeyer from LO Profile won that. 41-35 was his score prediction.
Wow.
So he was right there.
Right there, yeah.
You know, 6-point margin of victory. And actually, on the Lake TV contest, somebody did guess the final score, 42-36, but they took Kelsey for having the most receiving yards. That contest, it was actually Gabe Davis. No one picked that, so Hill was next with 150 yards. But When you look at that game as a whole, how do you sum it up, regardless of which side you're on?
I think, I do a daily sportscast for KB's radio show and for Lake Expo, and I said in the sportscast yesterday, I think that is the single best NFL playoff game in the history of the NFL. I really do. Just because of the way it played out. I mean, think about it. 25 points in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Unreal. That itself is unbelievable. But that Mahomes and company and things worked out just right so that in 13 seconds they could go down the field to kick the game-tying field goal. That's miraculous. I mean, think about, the Cowboys are still crying about their loss. They're on their last play. They still had 14 seconds on the clock, and they were like at midfield. They were on the other side of the field, and they still couldn't get done what they needed to do. And the Chiefs did it in 13 seconds. That's unreal. And then the flip of the coin. Remember 3 years ago, the Chiefs lost the AFC Championship game to the Patriots because they lost the overtime flip of the coin. This time they got the flip of the coin. If the Bills had won the coin flip, they would have won the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all of that is unreal.
Yeah, and I don't think it ever should have come down to the coin toss. Buffalo had their opportunities. Had the Bills' defense under Leslie Frazier's direction been the defense against Dak and the Cowboys in that game, Cowboys probably find a way to win. Bills' defense never showed up for this game. Didn't put pressure on Mahomes when they needed to. Missed tackles all game long. And in that situation, you can complain that we didn't kick the ball short. With 13 seconds left,
I mean,
burn some time.
All of those little things, if they would have kicked the ball short, ran just
3 or 4 seconds off the
could
clock.
have been the difference in the game.
Because then you got 9 seconds left. Even if he takes it up to the 30-yard line, you got 5 or 6 seconds off the clock, so you got 3 seconds left. Time for one play. It's not going to be a field goal from midfield.
Right.
You're going to have to take a shot. At that point, then you can go to that prevent defense. It's not what Buffalo did. And we go to that defense. You allow a 19-yard play on first down to Tyreek Hill, which was a brilliant play.
Yeah.
Go him short, run a couple of guys in front of him, 19 yards. Quick timeout. You got 2 timeouts left. Very next play, it wasn't even the pattern Travis Kelce was supposed to run. You saw in some behind-the-scenes sound bites that I've seen since where Mahomes actually hollered, do it, Travis, like telling him, run the route you want to run, not the route that's been called for you. And he did. Mahomes ball fakes, gets him to second level, hits Kelce. 24 yards later, the Chiefs have a 49-yard field goal. And at that point, the rest is history. And for everybody across the NFL and across the nation crying about the overtime rules, like you said, that game, which is even better known for the D Ford offsides, when the Chiefs intercepted Tom Brady in 18. That was Mahomes' MVP season. First year as a starter from week 1. Rewrote the record books. They deserved to be in that Super Bowl. But because the offsides, Patriots came down tied it, overtime, win the toss. Brady leads him down. I can live with that because that's precedent. We've already seen it happen. You know that's the rules going into the game. And as a matter of fact, after that game, the Chiefs went for a rule change. NFL opened it up for vote to the NFL executives and owners. The only owner to vote yes for the rule change in overtime was the Kansas City Chiefs, meaning the Bills had the opportunity to vote against that. So you throw that out the window.
Yeah.
That's precedent. You still have an opportunity to get a defensive stop at overtime. Didn't think you were going to your gas. I can live with that. I cannot live with not kicking it short to burn a few seconds. And even more so, I cannot live with the defensive scheming. Because to be honest, I almost can't live after that game.
And it's amazing. And we talk about it. I tell people, because I've been a sportscaster for over 40 years now.
Started when he was 1 year old.
Yeah, basically, But I tell people sports are not fun. And they look at me like I'm crazy. What do you mean? And sports have gotten so important to us in this country. We put so much of our emotional value into our teams that when our teams lose, it kills us. It crushes us. And not just when they lose, but during the whole game, because we're emotionally involved in that game. And when we're ahead, then we're happy, but we're scared we're going to lose the lead. And when we're behind, we're mad. Our team is doing everything wrong. And we're not really having fun. We're just anxiety ridden. So in that sense, when we get too emotionally involved in our teams, it's not fun anymore. It tears us up. And people, I think people are surprised when they sit down and they think about that, because everybody thinks, well, sports is fun and it's so great and everything.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, because you'll only be happy all the way through if your team wins it all. And that's very, very, very rare.
And you think about that too after that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great your team won. What do you get for it?
Right.
I mean, does it improve
It doesn't
finances?
next year.
Does it make your relationship at home stronger?
Right.
Does it grow your walk with the Lord? I mean, it doesn't do anything of substance. So I've actually been pretty mad at myself over the last 3 or 4 days because I've just had this emptiness, this inability to feel normal, and I realized how out of priority I've allowed sports to be in my life. And in that game, Chiefs fans felt probably almost what Bills fans and Bills Mafias felt the last 3 or 4 days, about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
4th and 4 when they had Allen stopped in the backfield and he got the first down. The 4th and 13 where the defender falls down. Gabe Davis has the touchdown.
Yep.
And then you have Tyreek Hill, super long touchdown.
Yep.
Buffalo marches right down the field and wide open over the middle. Gabe Davis again with 13 seconds.
Yep.
The Chiefs fans went right back to 2018, what they had felt in that AFC Championship game. And in our living room, it was pure euphoria. Hugs being given, tears being shed, already making plans for next weekend, and then in the matter of 2 or 3 minutes, the whole world comes crashing down.
Yeah.
And if it were going to happen to a guy like Josh Allen, because let's make no qualms about it, this young man is special.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he played just as good, if not better, than Patrick Mahomes in that game. It was shocking how good both those guys were. Nobody deserved to lose. It's the old, axiom. But Josh was amazing. He really was.
And he deserved to still be playing. And so that's part of the pain there is that he doesn't get to go on. But if, with 13 seconds left, if you had to lose to somebody, for it to be the Chiefs and for it to be Patrick Mahomes and for them to go on, I'll tell you, the thing about Chiefs fans is pretty cool because minus a few nasty jabs here and there, and I got what I had coming. I put myself out there and made a bold prediction Buffalo was going to spank the Chiefs, and it didn't happen. But because of Chiefs fans have been there, they've endured a lot of heartache, a lot of struggles after not winning a Super Bowl for nearly 50 years before they did. They kind of know after 2018 how important it was and how Bills fans must be feeling. And to see the way Chiefs fans have been so supportive of Josh Allen. And I have had hundreds. I haven't been able to get back to him. I haven't been ready. But Facebook messages, text, and even people I lost bets to. And no one was, pay up, haha, your team. It was, I am so sorry. I can only imagine what you're feeling, what Dad's going through. I'm so sorry I wanted it for you. Chiefs fans have been nothing but classy and kind and courteous because they understand that, it's just a game, but it impacts and affects us so deeply and so profoundly, and in that realizing that maybe I allow the Buffalo Bills and my love for sports to weigh too heavily in my life. But Chiefs fans, I got to tell you, you guys have been nothing short of class act. Super glad that it's you guys to end our season. Now, by God, KC, go on and do that thing and win it all. And I'll be honest, I don't see anybody stopping the Chiefs at this point.
I'm worried about their defense because their defensive secondary, they can't stop anybody. Now, maybe that was just the Bills because the Bills are that good, but I don't think so because Cincinnati did that to them in Week 17 of the season, did basically the same thing.
But the Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals are doing the same thing to every defense they're playing over the last month between Burrow and Allen. Those guys are special. But so it's going to be the Chiefs and the Bengals this Sunday, Arrowhead. For the 4th straight year, the AFC
First time that's ever
Championship
happened.
is in Kansas City.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Never happened before that a team hosted 4 straight championship games. Yeah. So
just crazy. And we've covered the Chiefs all season. It's been a fun ride. They had a rough start. Buffalo in Week 5 buried them, and they were 2-3 at that point. And Chiefs Nation was ready to throw their team away.
Yeah.
It's over. The dynasty's done. They figured them out. Not so fast. The Chiefs probably just getting started. So our big local story, it's been a year since we started this. It was a year ago this week that we shot our very first cup of coffee with Will and Chris. And since that moment, we have been viewed by 1 1,325,000 people.
Wow.
We've had over 30,000
Thank you for
people,
watching.
comments, and engagement. We've been called a lot of fun names. We've been
We're yahoos.
yeah, we're
and
a lot,
idiots.
and
Yeah.
a lot of truth to some of those things, I'm sure. But I've realized how important this is, that we're doing this. We're asking tough questions. We're talking to the important people, and we're trying to do our best just to keep our community informed on a lot of the stuff that previously wasn't talked about, wasn't given attention, and therefore never was asked and never was covered and never was even known by our locals. And that's changed over the last year, and I think that we're on to something, and I'm really, really excited to continue to work hard, to dig deep and to see what we can do this year, not just tell the great stories and keep you guys informed, but also ask those tough questions that no one's asking.
Well, and we have made a lot of friends, a lot of viewers, like you said, 1.3 million viewers over the last year, which is greatness. And we've made a lot of friends over that are happy, supportive of what we're doing, but we've also made some enemies, a lot of enemies, because of what we're doing. We're calling people. Our job, it's sad what's happened to the media in our country now. It's just turned into a propaganda machine for one side of politics, right? It's not honest. They're not doing honest investigation, honest reporting, just throwing it out there and saying, what's going on with this?
Right.
Let's look at it honestly and let the chips fall where they may. Again, it's just turned into a propaganda thing, but that's not what we're doing here. We're saying, okay, here's what's going on, like with the hospital. Here's what's going on. They put out this letter. They say sometimes all we can do is comfort people until they die. And we said, well, why don't you use these other drugs that you're not using, right? That question had to be asked. And now that's becoming a huge thing around the world now. And we were asking that 6-8 months ago. Well, that made a lot of people mad. They didn't like us saying that, but the question had to be asked.
And we're not here because we want to say, I told you so. We don't like that.
No.
We have to be right on something like that. Because
Right.
we wanted that question to be asked. And like you said, fast forward 4, 5, 6 months, and you see now how many doctors and how many facilities are now starting to change their tone on the use of ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine for the treatment and prevention of COVID-19. And we're also starting to see a lot of things about these injections or vaccinations, if you will, that we've had questions about, and now a lot of other people have questions. And you're going to want to check out my Mic'd Up with William Holtz podcast. I have D.O. Bradley Jones, MD, or D.O. from SSM previously. He was the one who really shed some light on the results that he was having with ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. I sit down and I have about almost an hour conversation with him this week. That's going to hit the airways early February, so stay tuned for that. And he holds back nothing, Chris. He was not afraid to say what he learned to be true, some of the things he's discovered going on in the UK right now. And so stay tuned for that. And those are the kind of conversations we want to have because, maybe you and I aren't always the most versed or well-studied to be talking about infectious diseases. So we could ask questions and then we can find the experts and bring them on and have those conversations.
And that's exactly what we've done too. I mean, for the people that are not happy with what we're saying, to every one of those people or organizations, you and I both together have gone to them face to face and said, you are welcome to come on this show anytime you want and talk about this honestly.
Right.
And most of those people turn us down. They don't want to come on this show.
Well, they don't want to deal with media. I mean, there's a pretty big hush or gag order in these facilities and on these people making decisions is that, hey, we're going to send out a press release that's going to say and cover our bases and say just as little as we need to say. And then as far as going out and fielding questions and digging deep, they're ordered not to.
Right.
Like they want to stay out of the limelight.
Exactly. And so really, the individuals that we're talking to, they might actually want to come on, but they're being kind of gagged where they can't come on and talk about it. But it's not because we haven't invited them, because we have every one of them we have invited. Come on the show, give us your side of it, because maybe we're wrong.
Right.
I mean, and we have actually told them that. Maybe we are wrong. You come on the show and tell us how we're wrong, and let's figure it out.
And we're going to keep this baby rolling into the new year 52. It's been an awesome year, my friend.
Yeah.
And I am happy to be doing this
Absolutely.
with you. I always wanted growing up, I wanted my own, probably sports talk is kind of what I wanted, or I wanted to be the voice of the Cubs or the Bills, because I wanted to get paid to talk and feel important. I wanted to have my own show. I didn't know why. Now I know why, because I love asking the tough questions. And a lot of work goes into this each week, a lot of conversations, a lot of late nights, but I've really enjoyed the investigative journalism side. And I'm going to try to get better at it. I learned that you can't always just give your opinion. Got to give the other side an opportunity to rebuke that and offer their side, and that's always the fair thing and the right thing to do.
See, and I think you've done a really, really good job, because it's easy being the kind of the color commentator off to the side where I get to just tell my opinion and stuff like that. Sometimes you've pulled me off the ledge, right, where I've said some stuff and you've said, well, okay, but and you covered both sides of it, which is good. I might have done that a time or two for you, but I don't remember. So
yeah, it's a struggle. And, we're both very very passionate, and so it does get easy when you're talking. But we're going to keep trying to get better. Every single show, we're going to keep trying to be better journalists, better commentators, and have more fun. And if we look at the lake in 2022, there's so many things to talk about, from crazy year in real estate, people flocking to the area. I mean, so many new developments from the sports complex. The mall has been bought. There's new developments with houses popping up left and right. Looks like Aldi and Hobby Lobby, they're expecting to open this year. I mean, so many things happening as we head into 2022 that give the lake just so much momentum for growth.
Yeah, and there was a story this week, Lake Expo, checking in with Aldi and Hobby Lobby to see when they're going to be actually in business here. And Hobby Lobby says their estimated opening is March of 2022, so just a couple months away now.
Heck yeah.
So that's Hobby Lobby, and Aldi didn't have a firm date of when they're going to open, but their answer is still they're coming. They'll be here as soon as they can and stuff like that. So good news there.
I'm not sure what all the hoopla is about Aldi. I know that the locals are super excited. I guess great produce, maybe great organic food, great prices. I've not been in an Aldi, so I don't know what all the excitement is about. But a lot of locals are super excited. And so both of those on pace, as you said, Aldi and Hobby Lobby. I think the lake's kind of just getting started.
My wife's real excited about the Hobby Lobby, man.
Yeah, my fiance Unique is also.
Yeah.
She loves the arts and the crafts and the decor, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to put a stop on all cards to Hobby Lobby. Is that a good move as the man in the household? Did Michelle, would she allow you to get down?
But Hobby Lobby's a great company too, a great conservative Christian, strong company. Love to have companies like that in the area, so we'll be supporting them big time.
Hey, I want to say, because we were mentioning our ladies, and I think over Unique and I've been together 4 years now, and I think early on it was hard for her to understand why sports were so important, but she literally has consoled me like I was mourning the loss of a pet over the last few days, and that's been pretty great, because it's like, how stupid. I'm moping over this stupid football game, and I'm coming home to my beautiful lady and our beautiful home and our healthy 16-month-old daughter, yet she's just right there, been like, baby, can I get you anything? I'm so sorry you're sad. They should never lobbied, and it's like, man, she's really being empathetic. I'm surprised. So I want to give her a shout out, because she's been the best partner through this loss, if you will. But we're moving onward and upward. But I wanted to give Unique a shout out, because she has been really good to me through this, and it's a stupid football game.
Yeah, well, we do that.
All right, so let's go look at deer hunting numbers for Missouri. If you look at 2020, it was a big year, but man, I'll tell you, the preliminary total deer harvest, according to the Missouri Department of Conservation, 293,670 deer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, huge. So the biggest harvesting of deer per county was Franklin County, 6,300. Then Texas County, that's down where Buffalo is, I think.
Okay.
5,400, and then Callaway County, 5,400 as well. But Camden County harvested 3,650 deer in total. Miller County, 3,273. And Morgan County, the biggest locally, 4,345 total deer harvested. So some big numbers.
Big numbers, and according to the Missouri Department of Conservation Cervid Program Supervisor Jason Isabel, this year's harvest total was slightly behind last year's mark and about 3% above the previous 5 years average. He said, "We've seen an increasing trend in statewide deer harvest for about the past 8 years, and the population has continued to increase across much of southern Missouri at the same time that we've seen a population recover in most of the other counties impacted by the severe hemorrhagic
disease outbreak or something,
that occurred.
Whatever that is.
Well, clearly, we need to work on our reading because I don't know what the heck that is.
That doesn't sound good.
No. That's hilarious. So slightly down, but up over the last 5 years. And I'm telling you, 300,000 deer, and you broke it down. Our Tri-County area, Morgan County, leads the way. Now, what is the difference between a button buck and an antler buck?
I was going to ask that. I guess, an antlered buck obviously has the antlers, and the button must just have where the antlers aren't growing. They're just kind of sticking there in their head. I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. You can tell I have not ever been hunting. Yeah. All right, so the Lake Ozark closer to funding the much-needed repairs for the Bagnell Dam Boulevard. We talked about that, this report, according to Lake Expo. And boy, it'd be great if it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we know they're working on the dam and the road over the dam, and this, I think, is a little different. So money to repair the Bagnell Dam Boulevard area almost within reach, according to City Attorney Chris Rohr, who informed the city board alderman that Miller County judge has approved the Transportation Development District. So there's a district, there's an area that they can tax businesses in that area, and the tax money they get from that area will fix the dam boulevard in that area. And I'm told that stretches from the now abandoned Quality Inn to city limits just before Bagnell Dam. So that area, the monies will come from the businesses taxed in that area, and they'll go to the roads in that area. So that's good, but all this has to be certified this week, actually, to be included in the April 6th ballot. So they need to keep really pushing on this.
Oh, yeah, and it's interesting to see all the new tax jargon and things we're learning about. TIF, TDD, all these different
sounds like a disease or something, doesn't it?
Just like the deer, whatever the heck, the hemorrhagic, whatever the heck. All right, so we are so thankful you guys are watching, not just this week, but all year long. We're excited about year 2, but Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris, not the only thing on Lake TV. We've got some great award-winning shows for you. Of course, Chris, you do your Lake TV Community Spotlight show every week, talking to some of the most important players in the lake, from educators, coaches, police officers, judges, school superintendents, business leaders. And this week you see George and Dorothy Peter, the owners of Cool Breeze Marine, the prop specialist, and really great blue-collar folks that have worked hard and put everything they have right back into their business, and their story's pretty neat.
Yeah, and the key to the Spotlight show is it's not just about a business, but it's about the people behind the business.
Absolutely.
So, we find out where they came from. Where did George come from? Where did Dorothy come from? How did they get together, and how did they build this business? It's a fascinating story, but behind almost every business, the people, fascinating stories, and that's what we find out on the Spotlight show. So be sure to check that out, 9, 3, and 7 every day on Lake TV.
Greatness. And of course, What's Burning with Kevin KB Burns, won #1 new TV or radio show in Missouri, according to Missouri Magazine readers and voters this year. And this week will be the 33rd straight week for What's Burning. You can see the On the Trail series, super cool, with Bill Mulder. You could hear from history professor Jim Paisley. Of course, KB gets out to Ozark Cat and Canine to do the R-Vet Furry Friends. A great show. It's going to continue to get even better. And then you can't forget about high school basketball and our coaches shows. You got Jason Ollison on this week, the head coach at Versailles.
Love that guy.
Great coach from where I went to school, one of my favorite Tigers coaches we've ever had. And then, of course, next Friday we'll be back at it with Jason Ollis and the Versailles Tigers in Osage for that one. That should be a great one.
Oh, yeah. We've had such great football games, now basketball games this year. You got to check those out.
So much going on Lake TV. Before we go, big shout out to Jill and Daryl at Slumberland. For Uncle Chris, I'm Will. Happy 1 year, my friends, and we'll see you next week.